Hey, we are here at Lowe's and we're gonna pick up the siding for our kitchen. I've looked at a lot of sidings and I finally landed on the one that Maren from Wildflower Home Blog. I mean, I love, and this is good advice for anyone, I love seeing a product finished in a space, and that really helps me make my decision. So I am looking at this room right here, and it's her den, and I love the paneling going on in there. And so I DM'd her and she said, hey, it's at Lowe's. It's this wide beadboard. It's the only one there, only one in my town anyway, and super cheap. And so that's what we're gonna do. And I know it's gonna look good because she's already been the guinea pig. Okay, this is what you were looking for. Okay, so let's do an update here. We started over here by the laundry room. I believe we should use the same crown that I have up there above the cabinets and just continue it around. And I do really love the width of this beadboard. I'm very happy with that. We decided to move an outlet while we were at it, drop it down so I don't have cords hanging on the wall right there. So I'm excited about that. We really ran into a snafu up here because can you see how the corner slants in, or like a little bit of a vault? And it's not straight, it's not level, the ceiling's not level. This is old house drama. And so we had to built out the wall up there and try to level it, and we have some trim pieces. We have some ideas, but it really took a long time to get that sorted out. And then we come over here. One thing we're finding is that my husband, who has a mechanical engineering degree, thinks really different from me. I think like a seamstress or somebody making patterns. Like I can make a whole couch slipcover without a pattern. And so I am tackling this project differently than he is. and it's causing a lot of debate. Maybe we'll show you the two different methods that we use here, and you can weigh in. Yeah, it's been more challenging than I wanted it to be, but we'll keep going. My thought is that this cupboard could just come off of the wall, and then we'll have just a simple area to cover. So I need to get this emptied out. Whenever we're doing a big house project, especially if it's in the kitchen, I always want to get some extra help with meals. Green Chef is a sponsor of today's video, and they offer meal kits that are sent to your door. That's no shopping, and you've got a lot of the ingredients are already pre-made for you, so it can really help if you're going through a time of stress. I specifically love this brand because there's farmers market quality, organic produce, and globally inspired flavors. Choose from over 8 different dietary preferences, so that includes plant-based and gluten-free. I always filter it so that I can get Mediterranean type food. I feel like that just checks a lot of blocks for us, so you can quickly filter the over 80 different menu options. Head to greenchef.com or click on the link in my description. Use the code 50 She Holds Dearly, and that's gonna get you 50% off your first box, plus free shipping, and then you can also get 20% off of the next 2 months if you wanna continue. All right, now that we've got everybody fueled up, I think we can get back to work. All right, as you can see, we have continued around under the cabinet, and the back wall is good all the way to the corner over here. So we are definitely getting there. This is just turning into a huge project. And I'm gonna talk about why I think it's been so challenging and give you some ideas on how to navigate something similar. But first of all, let's talk about backsplashes, because I know that this is gonna be a question in the comments, and it's a very good question. We are not tiling for our backsplash, so let's talk about that. I'm gonna give you some thoughts behind my reasoning here. So, and as you can see, we've got like, our cupboards are emptied out all over. So I'm just leaning on the like ice cream cups right now. A lot of times people will choose their backsplashes first or early on in the design process for kitchen, and I don't think you have to. I think that you could let the vision develop if you want, because it is the last of the hard finishes that you install. So once you've got your floors and your counters and your cabinets designed, you could choose them last. It's the last thing before you actually are spraying and hanging curtains and pictures and things. Second of all, sometimes you'll see in a kitchen this little 4-inch backsplash, and it's usually made out of the same material as the countertops. So we have quartz right now. In our last look in here, it was granite, and we had that little 4-inch backsplash, they call it. Now, technically, that is what you should do, I think, in a bathroom. It looks like a bathroom to me. So I don't like the 4-inch backsplash. I'm not obviously using tile, we're using this faux beadboard. And the reason I actually shy away from tile is because tile is so incredibly durable and oftentimes very, very trendy. So it's not uncommon for someone to walk into a house that they're thinking about buying, and the first thing that they want to change if they buy the house is the tile. The tile in the bathroom or the tile in the kitchen. And that's because it lasts so long. It could last 100 years easily. And so I always want to go very classic on tile. If you want a tile backsplash, go classic. The most classic look is subway tile, and you could get that in Carrara marble. You could do, if you wanted to have a little more fun with it, you could do herringbone style or something. But I wouldn't do anything crazy, especially something that's trendy. There's no way you're gonna like it in 10 or 20 years. Kitchens cycle every 10 years, and they are usually the most trendy room in the house, and then that means they're gonna be the most dated room and the most expensive room to renovate when you want to do it. So I didn't choose tile. The only thing that I wouldn't use as a backsplash is wallpaper. And I mean, I know you can wallpaper a kitchen, and this area right here above your range and then around your sink, those are the two that actually get worked the hardest as far as you're talking about with a backsplash. So maybe, maybe someone else would want a tile above the range here, but I'm okay with a substrate like this and then a really durable paint, like a cabinet paint or even an oil. We're talking right now with painters. Do we want latex? Do we want oil? Do we want cabinet paint? And so as long as it's high sheen and durable, the paint will be just fine. Another question I get is how high you put your backsplash. I'm going all the way to the ceiling and wrapping the whole kitchen, but you at the very least would want to go up to your cabinets. That's a good rule of thumb. High as your cabinet, and then follow that line around to the, stick with your countertops and follow that line around. That's a good way to go. If instead of me like tiling with Carrara marble to the ceiling, that's not a budget friendly idea. Okay, so now if I have completely freaked you out and you are looking at your tile going, oh my gosh, I hate that tile now that she said that, or you've hated it before, it is an option to paint tile. These are temporary solutions. They don't last as long as we want them to, I'm sure, but you can sand tile. You put a good primer on it. Zenzer is a good brand for a primer. And then Rust-Oleum, I love Rust-Oleum products, but they have a tub and tile paint, and you can paint tile. You also can do the peel and stick, the faux tiles. That's a great solution in a rental. That's what I would be doing if I wanted to do like a tile look in a kitchen, but remove it when I move. So those are my thoughts on backsplashes. I hope that's helpful for someone. Now, as far as the difficulties of this space, our house was built in 1906. So at this point, nothing is level. And it's like, if these are your walls, it's not like, oh, okay, so the walls are like this. It's not just that, they're also like this, like fanning open. And I mean, I'm looking at my ceiling right now, and it raises about 2 inches from that corner to that corner. Makes me think the whole upstairs is crooked, and it probably is. So that's very difficult to deal with. Remodeling an old house, I think, is the most advanced type of remodeling that there is, because you're working with whoever went before you and whatever they thought they were doing with electrical and straight lines and things. It has been so much harder than it was in my head. So Colby and I teach a class in my behind the scenes group. I do a coaching group, and we meet every week. Well, one of the classes we teach, and it's a really popular one, he and I teach it together, and it's called Marriage and Remodeling. And it's all about the stresses on a marriage when you're ripping a house apart and trying to, figure out the budget and the designs and the timelines, all that. And it's a really fun class. It's serious, but we have a good time, and the women bring their husbands to the class. It's a Zoom call. One of the things that we teach in there is to pick your battles. And whenever I'm in a wedding, like give the newlyweds marriage advice, I don't say like, oh, you know, have date night. No, I always say, pick your battles. Pick your battles, honey. Because a lot of it doesn't matter. Like, are we eating tacos or are we eating pizza? It doesn't really matter. So I would say that came up in this project. I really thought that we should handle the crooked walls a certain way. I wanted to use paper. I wanted to shape the paper to the wall and make that as a pattern for our substrate. He has a mechanical engineering degree. His brain is absolutely wired differently than mine. His problem solving is different. Sometimes that's amazing. Usually it's amazing. And then sometimes it clashes with my more like creative art form, and I'm like, no, it's gonna be great. Like, he would hate to do any type of faux painting because he's like, no, I wanna know the rules. I wanna know how to be successful. I don't enjoy feeling like I don't know how to be successful. And I don't mind having a lot of freedom and having fun with the process and faux painting and all that. So we clashed on this project, and I decided in the end I was just gonna pick my battles and I was going to let this go, and we weren't gonna get it all done in one video. It'll be 2 videos. And that poor guy, like, bless his heart, Colby has been up till like 2 a.m. every night this week. He's getting 2 and 3 hours a night of sleep because of this darn kitchen. And it's still not done, we still have that wall left. But I've presented my case. He's not comfortable with my idea. He is doing all the measuring, the laser leveling, the running back and forth to the shop, cutting, checking, coming back, photographs. There's numbers written on all the walls. And honestly, I need his help with this. And so I am not going to fight over this. Let me finish my marriage advice. I tell people, pick your battles, okay? And so say 80 and 90% of stuff really doesn't matter. Like, in a healthy relationship, it doesn't really matter. And then the last, say 10 or 20% that really does matter and you need to say something, you speak truth in love. So that's my marriage advice. And I had to take my own advice this week. But one thing that I love about being married for it's been 28 years, one thing that we have grown with, and it took about 10 years, was his faith and trust in the giftings that God has given me, which is design. And I have grown in my faith and trust in the giftings God's given him, with his ability to stand his ground on functionality. And so I'm trusting him in this process, and he's trusting me in this process. I'm trusting him at how long it's taking, but knowing that it will be a good finished product. And he is trusting that this is even a good idea, period. He has not said to me, why are we even doing this? We're not doing this. It looks terrible. He knows at this point, and honestly, he has given me one of the best compliments I've ever received. He said a few years ago, I have been watching you now for almost 3 decades design houses and rooms, and I don't know what it is that you do. I still don't understand how you understand the lighting and the layouts and the colors, but he says, I just know that when it's done, I want to be in that space. I don't even know why I love it so much, but I do. It speaks to me. And so he is allowing this project to go on. And he will say in a couple weeks, it looks so good. You made a good call. So I don't know who needs to hear that out there, but respect the giftings in your spouse. If you need more time, give them time. Pick your battles, and know that this struggle, especially a kitchen remodel, it's gonna be worth it. So this is to be continued. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.